Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Our focus continues to be on the assembly election results of 2026. What we are witnessing across the country is, of course, truly historic. But let's begin by talking a bit about Tamil Nadu. It's not just an electoral upset, it's a political shockwave. 5 years ago in 2021, the DMK under MK Stalin didn't just win power, it dominated the state. It built massive winning margins, swept urban strongholds and turned Chennai into a fortress. But today that fortress is cracking. Actor turned politician Vijay's Tamilaga Vetri Kazhagam has not merely entered the battlefield, it's redrawn it. Constituencies that once delivered commanding victories for the DMK are now slipping away. Seats where the DMK won by margins of over 50,000 are suddenly turning into TVK territory. What makes this even more striking is that Vijay's surge is not confined to isolated pockets. It is cutting right through the urban heartland that once powered the DMK's rise. The numbers tell the story, so let's take you straight to how Vijay's TVK is decimating MK Stalin's DMK. Let's go straight across to Shivani, who's got the numbers for us. Shivani, what do the number of Tamil Nadu say?
Absolutely, Uday. Like you pointed out, it's a fortress that has in fact been breached. This duopoly that had been going on since the past 50 years has now in fact met its match, and that's Vijay's TVK. Let's look at how many seats actually the DMK had earlier in the 2021 elections. The DMK had formed the government with around 113 seats. It was leading. We have the AIADMK at 66. TVK was not formed then, so we did not have any scope of it having any seats. The Indian National Congress was at 18. We have the PMK at 5 and others at 12. Let's look at how these numbers have in fact changed in 2026. 108 for the TVK. That's Vijay's party, a debut that they've made, and they have taken away half of the seats of the majority of the leading parties, and mostly of these two Dravidian parties that were giants over here in Tamil Nadu. DMK now is leading in 53 and AIDMK in 64. So we are seeing, let's look at the impact. The TVK, 108 plus seats. It's winning right now, minus 60 seats for the DMK. So a big margin over here for the DMK. That's a big blow to the DMK. AIDMK is looking at minus 2 seats as of now. The Congress looking at minus 14. It's lost 14 seats since the last polls. Let's also look at PMK, where it's in a very stable position. It's got similar number of seats as well this year. And others which have in fact lost all the 12 seats currently as the trends are pouring in. Let me remind the viewers in fact today of what are the important strongholds. If we look at the DMK, the biggest seat and the biggest upset that we have been seeing and we have been talking about is Kolathur, from where we had in fact MK Stalin standing. He is lost by around 7,000 votes over there. So that's the biggest seat that TVK in fact has taken over from the DMK. There is Thuttukudi, where we have a TVK candidate leading over the DMK by over 20,000 votes. And let's look at AIADMK, because this party also had strongholds in fact over across Tamil Nadu, and they have been able to, TVK has been able to in fact wrest that as well. Back to you there.
Absolutely. Let me quickly in fact draw in Vinita Hariharan, political analyst, for a quick comment on that. Vinita Hariharan, really a fascinating election result in Tamil Nadu. The way TVK in their electoral debut has, rooted out DMK from many of their existing bastions. Of course, we got that result just a short while back from the Kolathur seat of MK Stalin losing as well, but many other districts, as my colleague was just pointing out, the TVK factor weighing heavy. How do you view this?
No, absolutely. It seems to have, taken everybody by surprise, and it's turned around a lot of things. So I think it was a very, very strong anti-incumbency that worked in Tamil Nadu, and that is very evident with the results here. And Vijay came in as a force that resonated with the youth of Tamil Nadu, is what we understand now. The youth were extremely frustrated with the governance and with the things, the ecosystem in Tamil Nadu, which was there for the youth. And he represented a change. He represented a wave of new energy and new promises, and a sense of commitment and dedication, perhaps from the way he appeared in his last leg of his campaign. I think is when he picked up momentum. And initially there were hiccups in his campaign, and there was a lot of disbelief, and there's a lot of skepticism against his growth. But I think towards the end he made up for it, and everything else worked in his favor.
Absolutely. No, it certainly has been, of course, a fascinating election for Vijay, and the kind of debut that we're seeing as well. But does it seem inevitable, Gautam Mukherjee, that he will perhaps tie up with the AI-DMK alliance? Do you believe TVK is most likely to form government with AI-DMK plus? He's on 108 leads right now, so still just short of the magic figure.
Yes, that is certainly an option. He could also look at other offers from the people who support the DMK, maybe the Congress. But it is, easy for him to do this. He hardly needs a few seats. And this is a remarkable performance and a complete change after many, many years.
What does that tell us then about Dravidian politics and this regional politics factor that seems to have been eroded, not just in Tamil Nadu but also in West Bengal?
Well, in Tamil Nadu, to complete the thought, it is basically a throwback to the early days when a movie star could be this prominent in politics, and perhaps people are very tired of the bipolar, very few differences between the DMK and the AI-DMK, and they want a breath of fresh air, a new start, and I think they're going to get it. As far as Bengal goes, I think it's just bad governance, rigged elections, lack of development. The crack in the Muslim vote in Bengal is most telling.
Okay. I'll come to that in just a second. Priya Sehgal, editorial director of NewsX, also with us. Priya, just talking about this movie star connect that the south of India seems to have. They love their icons of the silver screen, and they reward them with electoral innings as well. But the kind of debut that Vijay has had, very few would claim to have, what do you make of this? The way he has, come into, of course, popular imagination. And we often see crowds at rallies, they don't always translate into votes. But here it's happened.
Yes. Well, there are a couple of things. First of all, not that many rallies, just 5 rallies. And I think Vijay's appeal is more than just the film star appeal. This is the Gen Z also, in terms of, we saw what happened in Nepal. He is 51 years old. So there is also the, Stalin is 73, I think. So there is also the youth appeal, because he's attracted a lot of the young, people, professionals are looking to him for some kind of a new kind of politics. He doesn't have the usual political organization. So he has a lot of volunteers. I would really compare him to, say, what happened with Arvind Kejriwal when he swept Delhi, in that election. And one more point there quickly, in terms of alliances, I would say that, he is more likely to form an alliance with the Congress rather than, because he is on record saying that my political opponent is DMK, but my ideological opponent is the BJP.
Yes.
So I don't know whether ADMK, unless he breaks it, or the Congress, he doesn't need that many seats also. I think Congress has won 4 or something. So maybe Congress...
4 or 5. I think 4 or 5 leads. Okay. And in fact, there is a section of the Congress that has said today that they wanted to ally with the TVK. Okay, I'll come back to that thought in just a second, but I want to quickly get in another special guest who is joining us now live on the broadcast, Tathagat Roy, a former governor of Tripura is joining us live. Mr. Roy, welcome. Thank you for speaking with NewsX today on Results Day. How do you view this big election result, particularly the one that's come in from West Bengal, overwhelmingly in favor of the BJP? Tathagat Roy, can you hear me, sir? Mr. Roy, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some connection issues with Tathagat Roy. But interesting observation that Priya Sehgal was making earlier. I want to take that forward to Sunita Vakil as well. Sunita Vakil, what is your interpretation of the Tamil Nadu result and the way the DMK fort has crumbled? They're in number 3 position right now. It's a complete whitewash for them. You know, AIDMK, of course, climbing to the the place of opposition, and of course TVK crossing 108 leads. They're just short of the halfway mark. Let's unmute Sunita Vakil, please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, now you are. Now you are.
Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible now?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, many exit polls predicted a surge in DMK and edge over other parties, and with AIDMK trailing behind. But Vijay was nowhere in the picture that time. Only one opinion poll, that is Access My India, predicted a very high 98 to 120 seats. So he was really he came out to be a surprise element in this election, and his political messaging opposing the DMK politically, and he also retained some distance from the BJP, which enabled him, to attract a section of urban youth votes, and also first-time voters and anti-establishment groups who were angry with the both major Dravidian parties, DMK and AIADMK. So his electoral debut has altered the...
Absolutely. In fact, we're getting breaking news coming in. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. A high-level meeting is taking place at the AIDMK chief E. Palaniswamy's residence. Top party leaders are arriving at EPS's residence. So a big huddle is underway at Palaniswamy's residence. Obviously, the AIDMK will perhaps be keen to ally with the TVK, isn't it, Priya? Big meeting that has begun at EPS's residence. What do you believe could be on the agenda of this meeting of the AIDMK top brass?
Exactly. The AIDMK will be very keen, but is Vijay very keen to align with the TMK, with the AIDMK minus the BJP? That might happen. And also, we saw the BJP president of Tamil Nadu. His name is just slipped from my mind.
Annamalai.
Former president. Annamalai. So he is very much in touch with TVK. He was very upset that the AIDMK has said that, because of them, he was asked to be stepped down from his post as a BJP president. He may be looking to do a side deal with them on his own and leave the party and join Vijay. On the other hand, we already have the Congress, Rahul Gandhi's team that has been talking about an alliance with the TVK instead of the DMK. So will those people also now try and support, try and break away from the DMK? So maybe a lot of smaller parties, by smaller I mean including the National Party Congress and the AIDMK, either of them, depending on where the numbers fit, could align with everybody wants to go to him, but who does he want? That is the big question.
Vinita Hariharan, will TVK become part of the NDA or not?
Sorry, I think I lost.
Will TVK go the NDA's way or not is the big question.
Will TVK form the government is what your question
No,
is?
they are clearly forming the government, ma'am. I'm saying, will they go the NDA's way?
Your voice is breaking a bit.
NDA,
Yeah.
will they join the NDA? Okay, I don't think Vinita can hear me. Vinita, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm trying to
yes.
ask you if Vijay will go the NDA's way. Will Vijay join the NDA?
Well, I think this is a little presumptuous to speak now. Not very clear about that. And I mean, since he's already spoken about his ideological differences from the day one, it looks unlikely that he would, join the NDA.
Okay, let me ask you, Gautam, because there is this big meeting happening at EPS's residence. There is about 9 seats that Vijay is short right now of that halfway mark. Now, where these 9 seats come from, we are going to have to see, because there are many permutations and combinations. One, of course, does involve him joining with the AIDMK. Do you believe the AIDMK top brass is discussing that as of now? EPS's house, big meeting underway as we speak.
I think that is entirely possible. The advantage that TVK will have, Vijay will have, in allying with the AIADMK and the BJP is, of course, the whole concept of double engine sarkar and no hostility with the center. Whereas if he joins with Congress, he becomes a form of opposition. DMK is gone. AIADMK is saying Bacchus is willing. And if Vijay says no, nothing doing, then, he is positioning himself as part of the opposition. I don't see how that serves him in his very debut, kill as a political person. So I think an accommodation is likely.
Okay.
The fact that he didn't ally with anybody has served him well in the election. But will it serve him well in the post-election scenario if he doesn't ally with the BJP?
And there is this talk, Priya, you made that point earlier of TVK plus INC as well, because there is this talk now today, and many readers are saying it more, and of course, a couple of analysts were saying it a short while back as well, that there was a section of the Congress that wanted to ally with the TVK. It didn't end up happening. Why didn't it end up happening is the big question also. And also, why didn't Rahul Gandhi and MK Stalin share the stage or do any events together as well? That again is something that we have to now analyze.
No, exactly. Why it didn't happen is because within the Congress, there was a divide on this. We had Rahul's team, actually, incidentally. I think they got it right this time. Manikam Tagore, etc., saying that they should be aligned, having an alliance with the TVK. But the older lot, and also they took the 2 last minute. I spoke to a couple of Congress leaders in the Tamil Nadu. They were saying, we've just supported, the budget had just happened in February. They're saying, the elections, candidates have to be announced in a week's time. And now you are saying, okay, stop, praising the DMK, start abusing them and go align with the TVK. So there was, a very last minute air to the whole thing, which is why they decided to go ahead and go with status quo. If you recall, it was not any of Rahul's people, but Sonia Gandhi asked P. Chidambaram, and Chidambaram went and spoke to DMK and sealed the deal. So now, of course, there is this I told you so brigade in the Rahul's Congress who have got it right for once in their life. So they are really hammering it home to the rest of the Congress, saying if we had aligned, then Rahul and TVK would have swept Tamil Nadu. And yes, the Congress would have done well. They did well in Kerala. They would have got 4 states in the south, which is why they again picking up this thing. And Rahul and Vijay have a good connect. Rahul supported when the DMK wanted to ban his movies. Rahul was the one who supported Vijay. He spoke against the ban. So he has been siding with, and supporting him even while the BJP has not, which is why I'm seeing in terms of natural allies, though I do take Gautam's point about the double engine sarkar, but in terms of natural allies, there is a lot more in common with the Congress and TVK than with the AIDMK and the BJP. So, and of course, there is Prashant Kishore, who is the advisor to TVK. Don't forget him. And he has opened a channel of sorts with Priyanka Gandhi. So, let's see where Prashant Kishore, because Prashant Kishore also has his own backdoor leanings with the BJP. But and as of now, TVK has not said anything in favor of BJP. He has a good equation with Rahul Gandhi. Yeah. He has even said that he's taken note of the fact that Rahul Gandhi and MK Stalin had no joint rallies together. Rahul Gandhi distanced himself from the DMK campaign, as you pointed out. So all that has been taken note of, and I somehow see, if the numbers add up, that may be his first choice.
And also Vijay is ensuring that his flock does not desert him now. He's
He
ensuring that
booked a resort in the
Yep.
morning before even the results came. He was so
Absolute.
sure. 100-room resort, rooms in a
Absolute.
resort.
Absolutely.
So he's sure of 100 MLAs at least.
Yes, yes. And obviously that has come right. That has come right. And he's going to ensure that they stay united and then decide which bloc they're going to ally with. Now, what we're witnessing, of course, in Tamil Nadu is not an electoral upset, as I told our viewers earlier. It's a political shockwave. 5 years ago, 2021, the DMK under MK Stalin didn't win power, it dominated the state. It built huge margins. It swept urban strongholds. It turned Chennai into a fortress. That fortress, though, now has cracked. Vijay's TVK has not just entered the battlefield, it's redrawn it. Constituencies that, of course, demanded those commanding victories for the DMK have slipped away. Seats where the DMK won by margins of over 50,000 have suddenly turned into TVK territory. Vijay's surge is not just confined to isolated pockets, it's cutting through the urban heartland. That was the heartland that once powered the DMK's rise. The numbers, of course, are telling the entire story, and for the numbers and more details, Pia Man is with us live. Pia.
Absolutely, Uday. Just a while back, we took a look at the overall numbers as to how many seats has the TVK really flipped from each party. But let's take a look at how Vijay has decimated Stalin, at how the TVK has specifically bitten into the vote base, the seat share of the DMK. First up, in 2021, MK Stalin had swept Tamil Nadu. He had bagged 133 of 234 seats. The vote share stood at a staggering 37.70%. Meanwhile, in contrast, as of 2 p.m. today, the TVK seat share is at 108 of 234 and the vote share stands at 34%. Remember, this is Vijay's electoral debut. So, of course, this is the first time the TVK has contested and it has managed to make these inroads in Tamil Nadu. And up until now, TVK is leading in about 60 plus seats, which were DMK bastions, which were won by the DMK back in 2021, and these include 3 very crucial seats. First up being Perambur, then Tiruchirappalli East, then Kolattur. And let's break down these battles a bit. Perambur, of course, Vijay is leading against DMK's R.D. Shekhar. In Tiruchirappalli East, Vijay once again in the lead against S. Inigo Irudayaraj of the DMK. And here, of course, Kolattur is a major upset for the DMK because you have the TVK's V.S. Babu, who is leading against MK Stalin, who is trailing at the moment. So these are 3 of the biggest battles in which the TVK has managed to take a very strong lead. Let's also take a look at 10 of these crucial seats in which the Vijay has managed to make these inroads, has managed to cut into the voter base that used to vote for the DMK. First up, Perambur. Back in 2021, R.D. Shekhar of the DMK had won with a margin of 54,976 votes. In contrast, in 2026, Vijay is currently leading with a vote margin of 16,452 as of 2 p.m. So this is the first major upset to the DMK. Apart from Perambur, we have Tiruchirappalli East. In 2021, it was Inigo Irudayaraj of the DMK who had won with a staggering margin of 53,767 votes. Vijay is currently leading with 12,015 votes in this particular constituency. Tiruchirappalli East, yet another major upset for the DMK. And this seat, of course, we've had our eyes on it since the morning. Kolattur, MK Stalin, of course, he was the winner in 2021. He had won with a margin of 70,384 votes. TVK has, as of now, flipped this seat. V.S. Babu is in the lead with 8,019 votes being the margin that is being reported by the Election Commission of India. Remember, this is data as of 2 p.m. 1,000 lights, another major upset for the DMK. In 2021, the winner was Ezilan Naganathan of the DMK. He had won with a margin of 32,462 votes and leading as of the moment is JCD Prabhakar of the TVK with a vote margin of 4,146 votes. So 1,000 lights, another one of the crucial constituencies and battles in which the TVK has managed to take the stride. Villivakkam, in 2021, a veteran had offered the DMK had won with a majority of a vote margin of 37,327 votes, and right now the TVK's Adhav Arjuna is leading with 8,502 being the vote margin recorded by the Election Commission of India. In Egmore, the 2021 winner was I. Paranathaman of the DMK, who had won with a margin of 38,768, and currently leading is Raj Mohan of the TVK with a vote margin of 10,722. Let's put out some more numbers on your screens, viewers, very, very shortly. In Anna Nagar, the 2021 winner was MK Mohan of the DMK with a vote margin of 27,445. And here we see this year VK Ramkumar of the TVK leading with 16,817 being the margin that has been recorded. In Virugambakkam, we have AMV Prabhakara Raja of the DMK who won with a margin of 18,367 back in 2021, and in 2026 the TVK Sabrinathan is leading with a vote margin of 8,002 votes. Remember, every single vote is counting towards these battles. The margins of course have reduced, but the TVK undoubtedly leading. In Sedapet, the 2021 winner was M.A. Subramanian from the DMK, who had won with a margin of 29,408 votes. And in 2026, Arul Prakasaram of the TVK is leading with a margin of 16,067 votes. In Madvaram, one of the other crucial constituencies, S. Sudarshanam of the DMK had last time won with a margin of 57,071 votes, and this time M.M. Gopisan of the TMK is ahead, TVK is ahead by 14,180 votes. But of course, Uday, you were discussing the permutation, combinations, what could happen, and we are presenting a couple of scenarios in case Vijay forms the government. Scenario number 1. Vijay forms the government with an AIA DMK plus BJP alliance. Let's take a look at how the numbers stack up. The halfway mark, of course, is 118 of 234. TVK, as of 2 p.m., had 108 seats. AIA DMK plus alliance polled 68, which would take the total up to 176. Scenario number 2. Vijay forms the government with smaller parties. TVK at 108 plus PMK at 4 plus IUML at 2 plus the VCK at 2, the CPI at 2, DMDK at 1, AMMK at 1 and CPIM at 1 would take the total of up to 121, just slightly above the halfway mark at 118. Scenario number 3. The INC, that's the Congress, snubs Stalin and then allies with Vijay. This would take TVK at 108 plus Congress at 4 and 13 others, and it would make the total 125. So these are some of the permutation combinations that of course we're all deliberating and discussing. What is the scenario that will play out? That remains to be seen. Back to you, Uday.
Absolutely, Pia joining us there with that analysis, of course, from extensive analysis, of course, from Tamil Nadu. But Sunita Vakil, quickly drawing you in here into some more inferences from this verdict. You were talking, of course, also about how this has been a shift away from Dravidian politics. Please elaborate, Sunita.
Yeah, it can be. It goes without saying that TVK party led by Vijay has evolved into a durable political force rather than a temporary celebrity-driven event. So new generation political movement led by Vijay has permanently reshaped the state's political landscape. And Vijay, the one point that is to his advantage, that he does not indulge in linguistic politics. And historically, he has taken into confidence ayers, periyars, and kamraj. So he is not into identity politics also, and he has emerged as a surprise element. So as goes his alliance with Stalin-led DMK or AIDMK, BJP combined. So we all know politics makes strange bedfellows. So he can go either way. He thinks his party will be
Right.
at an advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's now expand our focus a bit. Let's talk about the other states as well and the kind of result we've seen emerge from them. You know, Priya, this is a huge mandate, of course, for the BJP in West Bengal. Let's just talk a bit about that now. The 198 is the current leads that the BJP sits on. This is huge. This is a huge message. And the fact also, as we were telling our viewers, we are seeing how the RG car victim's mother also is leading from the seat she is standing in. That also again reflects how women voters have spoken out on issues of women's security against the woman chief minister.
No, exactly. And to be fair, I thought that, the RG car victim's mother would have won from any party she contested on it. I don't see that really per se as going for a vote for the BJP. But yes, the fact that the TMC did not handle the RG car rape case the way they mishandled the whole issue of women's security, that itself is very telling and can be read in her victory in that sense, because, she was given a BJP ticket. But having said that, the numbers, it was supposed to be a close battle at best. But the fact that BJP has now swept the state itself is astounding, and the impact of it will be felt in national politics. So in more ways than one. We already talked about the blow to regional parties, whether it is the DMK, whether it is the TMC over here, whether it was the RJD earlier, the Aam Aadmi Party earlier, the JDU, the Ajit Pawar's party. We've seen slowly this is getting to be a two-way battle between the two national parties, and we all know who has the edge with that. And they also seem to be very clear north-south demarcation. In the south, the Congress is managing to retain some bastions. It now has 3 states in the south, apart from Chandrababu Naidu, and maybe if TVK does an alliance, then it will have a say in the 4th. But in the north and in the east, the Congress is not being able to hold. The Assam verdict will be a big tell on the Congress inability to hold on to its earlier bastions. The two-way battle benefits the BJP more than it does the Congress, because the BJP is just much better at electioneering and organizational politics. So that is another lesson that is being taken away from this win. Mamata Banerjee, do we write her off, or do we, because she still has that big chunk of MPs in the Lok Sabha, will she be able to hold on to them? Because now what happened to the Aam Aadmi Party? Will the BJP then start breaking other parties? Because we are told that they may be trying to break the NCP next, because they do want to pass that bill with the 2/3, for which they need 2/3 majority. Prime Minister Modi has said that is my commitment. And how else will he pass it? How else does he get the 2/3 numbers? So which are the parties that could be ripe for the plugging? Will Mamata be able to hold on to her flock? Will she convince them that she is living to fight another day? Or will she just give up? I mean, knowing Mamata, she's not going to give up easily. So it's going to be a very interesting politics to watch beyond West Bengal. West Bengal, of course, a huge sea change. Politics as usual will not happen over there. They're going to be new power centers, new way of doing things. Who will be the chief minister? Will Suvendu hold? Because Dilip Ghosh has already said that the center will decide. So there is going to be some opposition from within. But after Bihar, after Samrat Chaudhary, I think the BJP is now trying to appoint not just rubber stamps, but people who have some hold on the state, where Suvendu may get his chance. So interesting times ahead, really, Uday.
Yes, so we are seeing how Vijay's supporters also on our screens are beginning to gather. I think this is the party office of the TVK, where big, massive hordes of people are beginning to gather. These are those who, of course, voted in the TVK into power to govern them in Tamil Nadu. They have their posters of Vijay. You can see on your screens. These are cadres, fans of Vijay, supporters of the TVK, Karkartas who are beginning to gather at the party office there on a day when, of course, electoral history already has been created in Tamil Nadu. But coming back to West Bengal and this downfall of Mamata Banerjee, you were taking us through the reasons, Gautam, earlier. You can now delve into them further. And also, the minority vote as well. Has Mamta really held on to the minority vote? Is that how she's reached this 88 figure? Or has that vote also deserted her? We are seeing how Humayun Kabir is leading on both the seats he is contesting on. Mr. Siddiqui of the AISF is also leading. You have Congress leading on 2 seats, left leading on 2 seats. Interestingly, all 4 of those of the Congress and left that are leading are Muslim candidates as well.
Yes, Uday, part of the Muslim vote has certainly split away from the TMC, which is telling because not only has she lost all her bastions, the traditional vote banks, the Mahila Bank, the Muslim Bank, the smattering of at least 10 to 15% of the Hindus she's lost across the board. And you can only put it down to, hubris, not adjusting to changing circumstances, not delivering on any form of development, too much goonery, too much cut money, and so on. What she has gotten away with in 3 elections, mainly because she had subverted the machinery and intimidated the public into apparently voting for her, though the chances are there was enormous rigging, and we would have seen this happen perhaps 5 years ago if the center had been this determined about a free and fair election. There is also next to no violence, murders, arson, rape compared to previous times. And I hope I'm not speaking too soon, because the 2-3 weeks after the elections are going to be telling, and it will be very important for the central forces to keep a very close watch and be extremely strict on any violent elements, including shooting them outright, shooting to kill. Shooting a few will sort out the rest.
No, please. Let's not be, let's not try and justify force by the forces as well, because obviously they need to be very restrained. But yes, it is important to maintain law and order. That is a point well taken. Vinita Hariharan, interestingly also, both these regional satraps that have lost today in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu were amongst the most vociferous opposition leaders to oppose the recent special session of parliament in which the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam was taken up for passage. These were the 2 who also opposed the delimitation bill the most vociferously. In fact, MK Stalin even went out to tweet that Chennai has defeated New Delhi when the bill lost. Now the manner in which these 2 regional satraps have been defeated by the public today, what is the trend that you see? Vinita. Vinita, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Factors have gone against the forces that were, in Tamil Nadu or in West Bengal. Like I was mentioning in the last conversation, one is, of course, the lack of governance. Like we see, over a period of time, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we've seen the last leg, a lot of scams as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned. And they were not just scams in paper, they were actual scams. And then the RJ Car case and the kind of crimes against women, they were, topping the list in the 4 to 5 states that had the highest number of crimes against women. So all this was being discerned by the voter at large in West Bengal. And I think that went against Mamata Banerjee, and the lawlessness that was so, visible towards the end, even during the election process, we saw a lot of hooliganism happening on the ground. And this is not the first time it's happening. We've witnessed it even in the last election, even during the Lok Sabha election. So I think all of that has turned against Mamata Banerjee, and also the fact that the youth of West Bengal were not in the picture, were not in the national story at all. They were denied of so many opportunities just because of the fact that Mamata Banerjee did not want to align with the national government's whatever programs that they were offering. And West Bengal was never, a party to any of the central government programs. They would, consciously not participate in many of the central government programs. So I think all of these factors have gone against them. And then, of course, Nari Shakti Bandhan Adhinayam, which they which they rejected on just on the basis of delimitation, which was just such a lame excuse, I would say, not to bring in women into parliament. So that that entire narrative went against them, and similarly the DMK as well.
Sunita Vakil, I'm coming to you as well in just a second, but I want to quickly now rope back in Tathagat Roy, former Governor Tripura. I believe he is with us now. Tathagat Roy, if you can hear me now, thank you for speaking with NewsX on Results Day. Your first big takeaway from the West Bengal verdict.
Hello.
Yes, Tathagat Roy, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you loud and clear, sir. If you can hear me now.
I can hear you. Yes,
okay.
Go ahead.
How do you view the results, sir? Your first big inference, your first big takeaway from the mandate that the people of West Bengal have thrown up.
Absolutely. First thing that I would mention is that this time the people have really voted. No spooky voters, no duplicate
Sir, I'll just request you to just put your phone a bit away from your face so we can see you clearly. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Please go ahead now.
1 second. I'm going out and coming out to the light.
Yes, perfect. Perfect. Please go ahead now, sir. Please go ahead now, sir.
Yeah. Now, this time there have been no spooky voters, no dead voters, no duplicate voters. And nobody has said, no voter has said that I have not been able to vote because of threats or someone else has voted on my behalf. So this is really a reflection of the people's will. The West Bengal, this thing. Hello, can you hear me?
Absolutely, sir. Please carry on.
Right. So this is with this. The result has been a thumping majority for the BJP. And quite a few results are still to come out, including Mamata's own result, in which Mamata and Shubhendu Adhikari are pitted against each other. And that will take some time, but in between right now there is no doubt that the BJP is going to form a government.
Yes, yes. You know, as you're saying, this time there has been no rigging, there have been no mysterious voters. The election has happened in a free and fair manner, but the TMC is still upset. Mamta is alleging today as well that the EC is slowing down counting. She is urging her cadres not to leave the counting centers, saying we will still win. When the last few rounds come in, I will still win, we will still win. How do you see this stance that Mamata Banerjee is still taking today?
Looking at Mamata's past conduct, do you think this is any unusual? Do you think have you found her ever admitting her mistakes, or that she has said something in favor of someone else other than herself? This is Mamata's second nature, or even first nature, that she will not admit defeat, she will go on putting out excuses. The kinds of things that she had done in the past elections, like for instance, in the 2021 elections, she said that some people had come and hit her on the legs and disappeared. Nobody saw those people, but she said, and then she wrapped herself in a huge bandage and went about. Still, she lost the election and she had to go to another constituency and run a by-election. This is her nature. She will always try to pull a rabbit out of the bag, out of the hat, like magicians do, and pretend that this will get her victory.
Yes.
This is done so far. This has worked so far until 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But this time, the particular vigilance of the Election Commission has put paid to all these nefarious schemes, and with the result that there has been reflection of the people's will, and Mamata has lost.
Yes, no, and lost, and what a mandate, of course, for the BJP, as we are seeing on our screens.
Absolutely.
Tathagat Roy, now, do you believe this is a vote against infiltration? Is it more of a vote against alleged corruption by TMC? Is it more of a vote against, those who stood, as as a shield against people who did crimes against women. What is it most to vote for? What is the biggest factor you believe that is,
it is
led
very
to this
difficult
landslide?
to put one's finger on the biggest factor because there have been a large number of factors. Number one factor, I believe, is misgovernance. The way Mamata has been administering the state, reducing it to the level of an agricultural state, a state which was the most forward in industries. Of course, before her she has always followed her guru CPIM. And CPIM during the last 34 years of their reign, they had closed some 58,000 industries in the state. Now Mamata has managed to close another 6,000 industries. When Tata was on the point of they had even established a car manufacturing plant. Mamata went and sat in Dharna and spoiled it. So on the whole, her misgovernance is boundless. She has no way no recipe to provide jobs for the young people. So she is trying to keep them satisfied with bhatta, that is handouts.
She was, but that hasn't worked. She's of course coined that slogan. She had coined the slogan of Ma Mati Manush, but this time Ma and Manush have both deserted her. Women voters have left her.
Ma Mati Manush is a meaningless phrase. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't convey anything. She has borrowed that slogan, I think, from somewhere in Bangladesh. Just like this Khala Have, this also she had borrowed from Bangladesh. So that is neither here nor there.
But the Ma and Betiya have deserted her. Why do you believe the women voters have left the TMC and gone to the BJP, Tathagatra?
Because the women voters are discriminating. They understand that with the 1,500 rupees of dole that she is handing out will not see them through very far. They want jobs. They want jobs for themselves, for their menfolk, of which Mamata has no notion, and she's not going to do anything about it. And the women also have realized that she's not going to do about it.
Okay.
That has been one factor which has deterred them.
Who do you believe now would be best suited to govern West Bengal?
In my personal opinion, it has to be Shubhendu Adhikari. Because Shubhendu Adhikari has been moving all over the state for the last 2 months or so, more than that, possibly close to a year. He has been moving all over the state and highlighting the issues that have raised their heads as a result of Mamata's misgovernance. The one that I mentioned, misgovernance is only one. Another one is the breakdown of law and order, particularly regarding the safety of women.
Yes.
Another one is shameless pandering to the Muslim vote bank. This one has played I personally believe that this one has played a very big part in this election.
So this is also a message. This is also a message that appeasement will not work. That is what you're saying, Mr. Roy.
Absolutely. And this has gone home to the people, which is why this all her lectures about secularism and all that have upon her no fruit.
Okay. Tathagata Roy, appreciate you joining us with your perspective on this big story. And a big message there by the former governor of Tripura. He said his personal choice, his personal backing is with Shubhendu Adhikari to be the next Chief Minister of West Bengal. Of course, the final decision will be taken by the BJP High Command. Sunita Vakil, quick, 30 seconds before I let you go. I have to take a break, but Sunita Vakil, 30 seconds to you. 30 seconds to you now on, the big question, of course, on coming in from Kerala as to what this verdict in Kerala means for the Congress party as well and the left. The last bastion of the left, which has been lost today, and of course some respite for the Congress with the win in Kerala. What does that mean? Sunita Vakil, 30 seconds.
So in Kerala, LDF seeks third consecutive term, while the Congress-led UDF attempts to regain power after a decade of opposition. But UDF is getting, I think, around 101
Yes.
seats. It's surging ahead. And the NDA is also attempting to emerge as a credible third force. Though LDF's Vijayan is a strong regional leader, but UDF's Satishan is also, he has also good image. And we know Kerala has always voted cyclically. It has never voted emotionally. So we have historically alternated between LDF and UDF every 5 years. Only it was broken in 2021.
The previous time. Yes, absolutely the previous time. But that trend has reversed once again. The Congress has won there. Okay, we'll be tracking that and lots more on the other side of this very short break. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other side. We are, of course, continuing to track Decision Day 2026, the big assembly elections verdict. More results coming up on the other side of this short break.